Here at the Delta Rivers Nature Center in Pine Bluff, you can get up close and personal with all the native wildlife, not to mention all the different fish species that can be found in the waters all over this area. And you don't even have to get wet. The 22,000-gallon aquarium is one of the largest in the state, allowing visitors to view native Arkansas fish as if they were scuba diving. Arkansans are fortunate to have 4 free nature centers that were built by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission with revenue from a statewide sales tax that was passed in 1996.
Here at the Delta Rivers Nature Center, we have a wide variety of things to offer people besides the main building, which has our interactive exhibits, audio-visual exhibits, and touchy-feely things, along with some of the live animals inside. Outdoors, we have some other live animals, bald eagles, American alligator. We offer a trail system on the property so people can get out and really get back closer to nature. We actually have 2 trail systems. One we like to refer to as our improved trail. It's ADA compliant, it's asphalt, boardwalks and that kind of stuff. If you want to get a little closer to nature, we have our primitive trail system. It's just like what it sounds like. It's just a path cut through the woods. So if you want to get closer to the snakes and the alligators and the poison ivy and all that good stuff, it's all out there.
A popular trail with most visitors is the Discovery Loop Trail, which begins by the Nature Center and extends for a half a mile out into the nearby wetland area to an overlook pavilion on Black Dog Lake. One of the highlights at the Delta Rivers Nature Center is the good old American alligator.
We get a lot of questions about alligators in this area. We do have alligators all up and down the Arkansas River here and in some of the wetland areas and stuff. We have 2 small alligators inside, which are attractive to the kids, and they like to see them up close. We use them in programs, but the big boy outside really gets lots of attention. He's only about 9.5 feet long. It's not full grown yet, still got a ways to go. We do feedings at the alligator exhibit every Saturday in the summertime, so if you want to see him move around more and be a little more active, Saturday afternoon's a good time to come out and see him get fed. He doesn't do a whole lot. He likes to go swim in his pond. He moves up and lays in the sun. He's got an alligator snapping turtle in there as a roommate, I guess you'd call him. Alligator snapping turtle is about 125 pounds or so he can hold his own in there with the big gator. But yeah, it's a really popular exhibit here. We'll probably get more questions or as many questions about the alligators as we do anything else.
And a wonderful, excellent opportunity to see, bald eagle or 2 here.
Yeah, a lot of people have heard about bald eagles. If they've seen them in the wild, they see them at a distance. We're lucky to have 2 bald eagles here that you can see up close and in person. One of them, unfortunately, has a gunshot wound. She had to have a wing amputated. So it's kind of a sad story for that particular bird, but it also makes for an excellent educational opportunity because people don't realize that kind of stuff does happen, still happens around here occasionally. So we get to teach them not only about bald eagles, but how they are protected and, that they are found around here. Actually, you can not only see the 2 that are in cages here if you're out around at the right time and you're paying attention, sometimes we see them circling right over the building.
And if you should happen to come here during inclement weather, not to worry because there are plenty of indoor exhibits, including a hands-on laboratory.
Yeah, it's tongue like spit.
Besides our exhibits that are available all the time, we have a laboratory, And when it's not being used for educational programs, we have groups that come in and we do fish dissections and frog dissections and leaf collections and those kind of things. But when it's not in use like that, it's always set up for the general public to come through, see what's there. It changes from time to time. A lot of hands-on, touchy-feely stuff, skins and skulls and all kinds of stuff going on there. So it's a neat place to kind of get in that laboratory setting and maybe get to touch some things and see some things a little closer than you would out in the woods.
Whoa, here. Look at a deer. Yeah, look at this. Look at a deer.
So pay a visit for yourself to the Delta Rivers Nature Center in Pine Bluff and make like a deer, or an alligator, or a turtle, or an eagle, or a gar, or a catfish, or, well, you get the idea. Built upon the vision of Verna Garvan, who donated the property to the University of Arkansas in 1985, Garvan Woodland Gardens has become internationally renowned and in fact is one of the top 5 botanical gardens in the nation. And you'll see why. Garvan Woodland Gardens is indeed what the name says, not just a botanical garden, but a woodland botanical garden, 210 acres of it. And if that wasn't enough, it's also surrounded by 4.5 miles of scenic Lake Hamilton shoreline.
One thing we're really working on is really world-class quality in design and construction, and we're trying really hard to show folks how you do things right. And one of our big themes out here is to be sensitive to the site and be sure that what you build is something that's appropriate for its location. So we work really hard to show people how you can have a beautiful garden without destroying all the beauty that's already in nature.
I liked the flowers.
Lots of flowers, huh? Tell us what some of your favorite things have been. Is it the train, the waterfalls, the peacocks? Tell us.
The waterfalls.
What about the koi fish?
I like the fish because, I saw the goldfish and we have goldfish, so I really like them.
I know, they're like giant goldfish, aren't they? What else? Is there a favorite flower that you've seen? Or you like them all, like I do?
I like them all.
There you go. A good reason to bring children to Garvan Gardens is the Children's Adventure Garden. And an adventure it is, as kids can explore a cave with a waterfall entrance. The entire area encourages physical activity for a generation that unfortunately has become sedentary due to the electronic media diversion. Waterfalls are something you can enjoy a lot of at Garvan Woodland Gardens. There's also a model train garden. And peacocks, which for the most part live in rainforests but can be enjoyed here even in the trees. Garvan Woodland Gardens, in fact, can be enjoyed year-round.
Of course, everybody thinks about gardens in the springtime. That's certainly a beautiful time out here. And the key things at that time of year are the pretty typical springtime flowers like daffodils, tulips. We have lots of azaleas. We got 2,000 or 3,000 azaleas out here. We plant 125,000 roughly tulips. And we estimate, and it's just an estimate because they've been multiplying for years, we have 250,000 daffodils out here. So that's the big show in the spring. Of course, there's lots of other things that go along with that in the spring, like pansies and sweet alyssum and just a whole lot of stuff that you'll see out here during the springtime. The biggest show, though, is probably the tulips in terms of color for the whole year. I mean, there's nothing we do that's more colorful than that. And then that will begin to transition into summer with the hydrangeas, which we're seeing here today. And the early ones start in spring, maybe the 1st of May, the real early ones. And we'll have them in bloom through August with the late PG type. So there's lots and lots of hydrangeas. I've lost count of how many of those we've got, but probably 1,000 plants at least. But of course, the other big thing in the summer is all the plants that love heat, like vinca and rose of Sharon, and lots and lots of impatiens. And one of our big popular crops now is sun coleus, which is a foliage plant. We have lots and lots of caladiums, of course, hostas, all the typical summer things. We probably at any one time during the summer have at least 50 different kinds of plants in bloom out here, and maybe not a whole lot of all of those, but we have a lot of flowers all summer. And then in the fall, of course, it starts to switch over to fall color. And the most colorful things out here are the red oaks, the black gums, and the maples, particularly the Japanese maples, of which we have a very nice collection, about 60 plants, and some of them are quite large. So Japanese Maple Hill in the fall is really, really spectacular.
The $5.8 million Anthony Chapel was funded entirely through private donations. This 160-seat chapel, with its blend of native wood, glass, and stone, makes for quite a serene sanctuary. The nearby carillon, reminiscent of the ones often seen beside old European churches, chimes on the hour along with playing seasonal or reflective music. Throughout the state, there are various Civil War historic sites, Pea Ridge, Prairie Grove, just to name a couple. And now here in Helena, students and visitors alike have a different perspective of the Civil War and this reproduction of Fort Curtis. Let's check it out.
I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaming lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His troop is marching on.
The reproduction and rededication of the Union Fort Curtis recalls Helena's occupation by federal troops from 1862 through the Civil War's end in 1865. It's the only replica earthen Union fort of its kind in the region.
When I was director of the Delta Cultural Center back in the early 90s, in doing research on Helena, one of the things that was of interest to me was the Civil War. And so in part of that research, I came across the actual drawings of Fort Curtis. And then also I had come across some accounts of some of the people who actually had worked on the fort. And so one of the things that people, when they come to Helena, they always want to know, where was Fort Curtis located? What was it like? They wanted to know about the supportive batteries that were up in the hills here, but they were difficult to get to, and they also were in private individuals' ownership. So the concept was that if we could come up with the fort itself, a replica, and build that, it would be something that people would have a sense of what the Civil War was like and what Fort Curtis was like. So the plan was put in place back in August of 1993 to try and come up and with the plans and actually execute those plans to build the fort.
Earthwork forts were modified versions of the original forts.
During the Civil War, early on in the war, there was masonry forts. And of course, the technology had changed so that once it was fired into, it would crumble like a house of cards. The earthwork forts would absorb the shells of the rounds as well as bullets. And so what you see here is pretty typical of earthwork forts. Now, what's interesting is the type of guns, which are seacoast guns. These guns come off of ships, and they fire tremendous rounds. They fire also exploding rounds. So you get an idea again of what a fort installation was like by looking here at Fort Curtis.
So in all, there would be quite a few guns here.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there'd be at least six guns that were in place. And then also the supportive batteries, they would have anywhere from 3 to maybe 4 guns, but much smaller guns that they would have that would support the major installation of the major work itself. Helena has always been a tourist destination. There are people all over the country that know about Helena, just like they know about Gettysburg, they know about Vicksburg. So Helena was a part of that Vicksburg campaign. And so anyone who's studying Vicksburg campaign will also know about Helena. And then the other thing that it does, it starts bringing into focus the involvement of not only white troops, but black troops. From February of 1864 through the end of the war, Fort Curtis and all its batteries were manned by black troops.
Well, what did you learn that you didn't learn about it at school?
Like, I didn't know that little cannons could make so much noise, and I didn't know Abraham Lincoln was the head of the war.
These men could never imagine that they would also wear the blue uniform.
It's very nice because we get to learn about what happened in the Civil War and what's been going on since now from then.
A little bit better than trying to get it all from a textbook, huh?
Yes, it is.
What is the union? What holds us together? And the thing that was interesting to me, there was always...
For today, I learned like that the women, they had to wear a dress, they had to wear a 5-layer dress, and the men, they had to just wear wool suits. And then I bet they was hot, but well, they said that every little breeze it'll feel good.
Ronnie Nichols, who is a former director of the Delta Cultural Center, now living in Washington, D.C. area, had the dream of building a replica of Fort Curtis.
Back then, it was a lot of things that people had to go through, and the slaves, they had to come here to get their freedom.
I have learned all about the Civil War in school because I go to KIP, and KIP teaches all this little fun stuff. They teach us in a fun way, so that's it.
I have read a fiery gospel writ in burnished rows of steel. As ye deal with my contemners, so with me your grace shall deal. Let the hero born of woman crush the serpent with his heel, since God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
The Little Blakely Trail is actually several loop trails located on a peninsula not too far from Lake Ouachita State Park. It's available for both hiking and mountain biking. So let's give it a whirl.
From Lake Ouachita State Park, take Highway 227 past the end of the pavement to Forest Service Road 3200. Follow that road for about 3.5 miles to the parking area by the trailhead. The total length of the trail system with all the loops combined is about 18 miles or so. The difficulty of this trail system is rated moderate to strenuous, and you should allow anywhere from 4 to 10 hours per loop if you're hiking. If you're a beginner to intermediate mountain biker, some of the areas along the trail can be quite intimidating and difficult to maneuver, especially over the narrow footbridges. So, if you're in doubt or the least bit hesitant, it's probably best to leave the mountain bike behind and just stick to the hiking. Whichever way you choose to tackle the loops, you will experience spectacular views of Lake Ouachita, especially if you hike or mountain bike in spring or fall. Personally, I wouldn't recommend the summertime because of the heat and humidity. And of course, carrying plenty of water is a must. Might also add that underneath the first footbridge, there's a really nice creek where you can take time to relax and let the sound of the water do its soothing wonders, as videographer Michad Holliday took the liberty of doing.
So grab your hiking shoes or your mountain bike and blaze along the Little Blakely Trail system in the Ouachita National Forest along Lake Ouachita. And for more on this destination, plus many of our others, or to order a copy of an episode, visit our website, aetn.org/exploringarkansas. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.